What are the things that you are most excited about for Pro Audio in the next 5 years?
Oh, I think that we are finally at a point where the entry level for just average music lover, you don't have to spend so much money like the days before you have to spend studio time, studio labor, and hiring musicians. Now you can do everything on your own on your laptop in your own comfort. So I'm super excited about the day where we're finally at a point where there's no necessarily a wall that you have to climb over to get into the industry anymore. It's just, you want to make music? Grab a laptop, buy Soundtoys, get Logic, and you're good to go.
You hear it first. Get a laptop, get Logic, then buy Soundtoys. That's it. And then you're good. Maybe even famous right away. So no guarantee, but it's probably possible.
Hey, you never know. You never know. And if I'm on a deserted island, I don't know why I would be on a deserted island with a laptop, but I would hope that Logic and Soundtoys is installed.
I think so. Every industry has challenges, every company has challenges, but there's still a lot of exciting things on the horizon. So what excites you about what you guys are doing and what the future of your company looks like, but also for the future of the industry?
Yeah, it seems like every time we make a plugin or a product, we immediately get served 15 new ideas from that whole process. So what excites me is that it never stops, and also because of our audience growing bigger and bigger and bigger, they come with ideas to us as well, and they have needs and they have their own kind of like problems that they would want solving. Now, we're not picking up all of them. We might pick up 1 out of 2,000 ideas and then roll with that. But it's still just so nice to have that amount of ideas flowing our way also from us, and then but that's also where it starts. We need to be excited about it first. I need to be using, it's always about a plugin I would use tomorrow in the studio. So that's how we work, and that's also pretty much what excites me about how we work, because I've been using this throughout this whole development process, and I'm still looking forward to using it throughout the rest of our lifetime. So yeah, that's what I think on the large scale, again, mentioning AI and machine learning, there's so much that is possible to start adapting when it's ready and when it's not as much of a hit or miss thing to do. And we're gonna get there. We're getting there pretty fast as well. And that's why we're also, of course, always having an eye on that and making sure that we know what's happening. So yeah, definitely. And then I think we still have a bunch of ideas of how we can, what we can do next with the technology that's available, that we've already used in Soothe, Spiff, and Bloom. The same underlying technology, because there is a lot of uncharted territory there still to be found. I don't think many are aware of that, but we have spent a lot of time in that area and found out that, whoa, there's a lot here that we could do.
What excites you most about the future of Pro Audio?
Similar to the AI piece, as a record producer, mix engineer, the one thing that will never go away is the human desire to create. So whether that's a songwriter for me or a composer, whether it's somebody thinking up a new product, whether that's software or hardware, the creative element of the human spirit, that's never going to change. So there's going to be a desire for people to create something. They can do that through all the people that are connected through the Audio Engineering Society. So for me, I think it's staying connected with an organization like AES, so I can connect with other engineers, other people that are coming at it from different angles, because our jobs are very, what's the word I'm looking for? You work by yourself a lot, right? Very isolated. So to be able to come to these events and connect with people and hear different thought process is extremely valuable, because if not, you can kind of get off tangent and be like, well, I missed all this other stuff going on over here because I was so focused over here or just over here. It helps definitely widen the view.
What excites you most about the future of Pro Audio?
ironically, the same thing. The flip side of that, like I said, is that because the barriers to entry of getting into the creation of music from a technical side have lowered in so many ways. It is easy, and now there are so many organizations like this organization that are working to correct this, and no one is doing it perfectly. But because those barriers to entry are lower, and because of, unfortunately, things like algorithmically driven streaming platforms and things like that, we are hearing from a broader number of voices, and that's exciting to me. And it's exciting to me that there are big people who are like bastions of the industry who are starting to realize that this is a problem and are interested in championing those people. And to me, that's exciting. I mean, not just because it's what I do for a living, but also because like music has always been a cross section of what's happening in a community, in a society, and politically, like from a spiritual standpoint, all the above. And if we're not hearing from an actual cross-section of a population, we're inherently missing key voices. And so if you think about 200 years in the future, if 200 years in the future exists, let's start there. But if that happens, we'll get into that later on my podcast. If they were to look back and say like, okay, let's look at this, like, let's see the art from this time period in culture, like what would it say? And it's been interesting to like watch that shift if you even think over like the past like 50 years with recorded music. But I don't know, it's exciting to me to like be working actively towards hearing from more voices.
What would you say excites you most about the future of pro audio?
The toys keep getting better. And I think when you have new horizons, we break new ground. A lot of things seem very technical at first, and only super technically minded people are able to manipulate them. But as the technology grows and grows and gets better and better, then you take the people who are a little more creative and want to use that to make art. And I'm really excited because the tech keeps getting better, which means that the space for creativity for artists gets wider. And anytime that can happen, I think we're going to have cooler stuff, more interesting things. And so with those of us that work on the tech side, being open, creative, and really being inspired by what the artists can do with these new toys that we can show them.
What would you say excites you most about pro audio right now? We're in 2024, only 25 days in. There's a ton of things that are in flux. So what's exciting you?
That's a good question. I think the biggest thing that I'm not sure people really realize is that like in my opinion, we're over the technical difficulty stage of plugins, and now you can really create, insanely high quality plugins pretty easily using the tools that are available right now. And what that means is that I think that there's going to be so much more innovation in the next few years to come, not only from like a technical standpoint, which I think is most of like what people talk about these days, like revolutionary sound. I don't think that's like where it's heading. I think it's more about the expression side of things, you know what I mean? So like we might see, a brand that specializes in, I don't know, like maybe like folk music, that do plugins for folk music, you know what I mean? And I think that's really exciting. I think it's similar to what music went through in the past 20 years, where it's like huge labels, big agendas, breaking down to like technology, you can do it yourself, Spotify, blah, 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 blah. And then nowadays, you're free to create, and there's so many interesting like mixes of music. And I feel like that's where we're going with digital audio as well.
Thinking about your brand and the challenges you faced over the years and you could foresee, and then also the pro audio industry, the people that are using your microphones and the challenges they're facing, what do you feel like those challenges are? What are your thoughts on them? What are you most excited for in microphone technology, in pro audio, or the music industry in general?
I think the thing that makes me most optimistic is that the availability of high quality recording gear, and that goes for the entire signal chain, from microphones to interfaces, computers, and everything else. The prices have really come down and the capabilities have really come up. So if there's a bedroom producer who wants to make records, he or she is not held back by the gear. It's just not the case. I mean, it's kind of overwhelming if you think it through, that someone can go out and spend a couple $100s today and get something that, at least in some respects, outperforms the state of the art from 30, 40, 50 years ago. And if for people who are fans of any band like that, Led Zeppelin or the Beatles, and now certainly those guys knew what they were doing, but there are modern preamps that have lower noise and more headroom and things like that. So I think it's really encouraging that there's gear available and affordable that is capable of incredible performance, because that really empowers a new generation of people to come along and make some great music.
What excites you most about the future of pro audio?
Again, answering from our standpoint first, what I'm most excited about is all of the possibility there is in partnering with existing companies, right? We want to create mutually beneficial relationships with the companies that already make guitar pedals and amps, potentially other plugins for synthesizers, for violins, not even guitar specific. I think more and more companies, again, are embracing that new way of handling user interface with mobile apps, with computer software, and I'm really excited to see where modeling and accurately recreating some of these existing circuits and amps is headed, because every year it seems like there's a more and more accurate way to recreate these sounds, and I think at a certain point everyone will begin to accept the fact that digital versus analog is no longer really a competition, right? Like we're at a point now where you can accurately recreate these circuits, and I'm super excited to see where we, as well as other companies, continue to take that over the next 10, 20 years.
What excites you about the future of professional audio?
I'm excited about AI. I'm excited about automation. I'm excited about the accessibility of creative tools. Everyone now, even just with like a smartphone or a laptop, can just create. And I think it's magic, be it visual arts, be it music, anything, podcasting. It's just great. And the way the internet, it just is, we can get all of that information to the many audiences that are out there. And I truly believe that there's an audience for everything. So.
What excites you about pro audio, where we are now, where it looks like we're going? Both for your company, what excites you about the future, and what excites you about future technologies and future changes in the industry?
So I'm passionate about drums and everything to do with drums and percussion. And for me, a lot of why I do this is actually connection with, kind of in direct connection with people, So I find this, I think like any artist, it's sort of connection with a listener, a customer, end user. I'm excited to bring more wonderful sounding drums and percussion, to enhance people's music, to help them make great music, to make it easier for them to make great music. As far as technology goes, I'm looking forward to tools and technologies that can simplify and automate boring, repetitive tasks. I try always to utilize technology to the best of my ability to cut on non-creative things so that I can spend more time creating, content. So yeah, more time creating, less time doing repetitive clicks.
Yeah. Absolutely. And are you trying to do that with the tools that you're creating for people and for your company, or both?
Correct. Yeah. So I try to utilize tools to make my process quicker and easier producing, and my focus is always with our products to make the process of somebody else's music production development easier and more fun. It's a lot more fun when you have something that sounds like a real instrument that you know how to use right away out of the box, than having to read through a manual and figure things out Because most people don't have that, time or the patience, and it needs to work out of the box. It needs to sound great, and it helps people finish. I've heard from customers that they finish their projects that were maybe pending because they couldn't get their drum sound right. So now they just put it in, boom, it sounds like a real drums. So they finish their projects, and that's mission accomplished for me.
What is exciting you still about the pro audio industry?
This is really interesting. I used to be with ImageLine before I got to Zynaptiq. The industry part itself, it's just you're full with passionate people that usually try to do something that excites them. At Zynaptiq specifically, I work with people who are way smarter than me, and I have lots to learn. But it is always that sort of glimmer, that sort of nerdy stuff. The talks we have at the airport about like high-end mixers and specific things we want to dial up, like. There's this vision that I feel like a lot of us carry about stuff that should be possible, that will happen in the future, that's like 5 to 10 years down. And even if stuff that we're doing now is not really showing the signs of where this stuff will go, it is really inspiring to be around people, if you think of the industry side, that sort of carry that forward. Like, especially at Zynaptiq, I end the day in the office working on sort of plugins that are still unreleased, and I go back home and I'm excited to start using them and make new stuff, and also like develop stuff that allows you to do sounds that weren't possible before. If you think of like the AI stuff, some people think of this, okay, music is over now, no one will do anything creative, but that stuff's good at recreating stuff that was already possible. I'm really looking forward to the stuff that will be made from that just wasn't possible before. There's so much growth, technology has come a long way, and I hope that we will also be a part of that.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Robin at Zynaptiq. Robin, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. It was a pleasure, some excellent answers. This is Michael J. Morgan signing off. Have a great NAMM. What excites you about the future of pro audio?
I think what really excites me most is, like, if you're here at the NAMM show, you see so many people that are here that you would not have expected. How many more people need, like on this floor, there are a lot of microphone manufacturers or builders. Why would you need more microphones? Why do you need more choir libraries? There are already choir libraries that exist. People come up with new ideas to make them better, but then the other thing that is inspiring makes me optimistic is the marketplace is getting bigger and bigger. As things get more affordable, as people learn in their free time how to, hey, I can make music too in my own computer. I can do this. It used to be that you'd have to find a bunch of other people and make a rock band or something in order to actually make a song, but now you can do it in your computer. So the marketplace, the potential ocean of customers is huge. It's much bigger than it was a while ago, and I think it's getting bigger actually. And that's what makes me optimistic, is there's more competition, more companies that are doing the same thing as I am, or doing the same thing as that microphone maker, or that preamp maker, or that keyboard maker. But there are also more customers to buy those things, and I'm doing better than I was in previous years, and I think most other companies are probably the same.
What excites you about the future of pro audio?
Coming to NAMM excites me. NAMM is always exciting because there's so much going on, and it really kind of brings that energy back up again when you walk away from the show. But you know what? I think it's really about just seeing the constant evolution of the industry. I'm big into technology. I love technology. And it's so much fun to see all of the vendors and others that are coming up with new ideas and new plugins and really seeing how it shapes audio. The audio industry is really interesting. It's kind of unique, at least in my experience, where I've never seen an industry that's more passionate about what they do. And, whether money is a driver or not, people are very, very passionate about the audio space and the audio industry. And so that's just something that I think as an industry, we carry our own, right? I mean, we have the passion, and most of the time we're very optimistic and we're happy, and I don't know, it's very encouraging. So I don't know if that answers the question, but it's such a wonderful industry to be in, and at least for myself, seeing the energy that other people bring into it buoys me up, and it helps me keep going at a minimum. So,
what excites you the most about the future of professional audio?
The future, I think a lot of AI-empowered stuff make me very excited. especially the AI singers or any other AI voices that can empower the workflow a lot. But also the producers, the musicians, they are welcome this kind of new technologies. They don't see this as a destroy of the industry. They see or of the creation stuff. They see it like a tool to help them to upgrade their work. So I think it's very made me very happy.